Hey everyone, welcome back to the Maz and Sack Cast. It's been a minute. Um, we've been discussing new formats, so we're going to start tonight. How about that?
I
Um,
like it. Why not?
yeah, instead of 3 hours of us rambling, we're
Hmm.
going to take topics and just shrink it down, but you'll
Hmm.
still get your content. Sack, what's good, buddy? It's been a while.
um, I got nothing, man. I got nothing. I've had a wild weekend. I don't know. I don't have a lot of wild weekends. My kids have been with my mom all week, so the wife and I have been chilling. Nothing
Listening to
much.
Bruce Springsteen, I would presume.
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not. But um I did catch the opening ceremonies for the Olympics, and that's like a hot topic of conversation out there on the interwebs right now.
It is.
A lot
It
of
is.
footage getting scrubbed, people getting hit with content violations for what do they call it? Trade Not trademarking, but like
Copyright strike?
copyright strikes. Yeah, for having footage that they aired because they don't want people to see the shit that they were doing. So
Okay.
that's kind of fun. But we watched it and it was awesome because Gojira performed. And I don't know if you know Gojira, but they're a French metal band. A lot of their stuff is very eco driven. Like they're like kind of environment warrior metal people. But anyway, they're fucking awesome. Their shit is amazing and they're really underrated in this country, even though they're probably the best metal band right now. Like for any genre, they're probably the best metal band right now. Period. So they got a pretty big spotlight, and they did a performance with like a bunch of Marie Antoinette, headless people, and like they shot like stuff out of cannons to look like blood coming off of the building that they were. I mean, it was pretty fucking rad, but yeah, the rest of it was kind of crazy symbolism and shit. But I like sports, so um I've watched a couple hours of surfing. That's been kind of cool. I like that they added that. I've watched some fencing. I've watched beach volleyball. Um
Dudes or ladies?
oh, come on, it's got to be the dudes. You know that.
Chase Budinger.
Woo! No, of course not.
So, in regards to the opening ceremonies, I was at work. I didn't see them, but my wife keeps talking about Celine Dion.
Of course, see, and that's where like I can't be around people because there's like normal people that they watch shit like that and they're like, "Oh, Celine Dion was awesome." Like fucking what's her name? Lady Gaga killed it and it rained, but there was still some cool stuff and it was really neat and the art and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, from the first minute of the national coverage, like when they have this shrouded figure take 3 kids into a boat and those kids are never seen from again and nobody says a word, like from that fucking, and it was all dark and scary looking and shit. And from that moment I was like, okay, because dude, you watch anything like this, like award shows, fucking anything that's like gonna get a global audience. And in America with our TV, it's a national audience. But anytime it's gonna be a national audience watching something big like that, there's ritual shit involved, man. And this was a global audience because everybody watches it, for their countries and shit. And there's always ritualistic shit in it, and this is no different. But that's why I can't be around normal people too much because they just see the fun stuff, and there is fun stuff. It's meant like one of the sections because they named the segments of the opening ceremonies, and the one with Lady Gaga and like when they first start bringing up the athletes and stuff is called enchantment because they're like it is what it is. Like, so anyway, that's why I struggle with that shit, because it's like, dude, yeah, no, I get it. It was awesome. I watched Gojira and I was like, you know, my wife had to wipe a little tear from her eye after the performance because it's her favorite band, and it was like really fucking cool. But it's hard to ignore some of the other shit. And there was a huge difference from the live broadcast and the broadcast that you got to see at night too. The live broadcast was several hours, and the nighttime one was 90 minutes that they cut and chopped so that you got the meaty stuff that they, you know, that people want to see.
So
And a
was
lot of
the unaltered stuff on the Peacock?
it was. I don't know if you can watch the whole thing now. And like I said, people are getting videos taken down. But of course, with the way the internet is right now, it's kind of like a wild west for people that want to get information out there to where it can never be deleted. Like, yeah, you can kick us off or delete an account, but you're not going to get rid of this shit. We're saving it, we're putting it places, and we're going to keep sharing it so people know it. As you know, with other things that have happened recently, like people just wanted to keep going so that it doesn't get shut down. And some of the stuff from the live thing that wasn't on there, like when they did the whole like Last Supper sequence with a bunch of drag queens with kids dressed up in drag, and like had a dude on a dinner plate that, you know, like there's just a lot of stuff that they, you know, and like I said, they're scrubbing it because you're supposed to forget that you saw it. You're not supposed to think about it. You're supposed to just move on to the next interesting thing, like our current political system. You're just supposed to forget that, you know, the president's 6 foot, even though all of a sudden he's like 6'8". I don't know. You're supposed to forget that, like, you're supposed to vote for a person to vote for president, like through the election process, and not just say, hey, it's this one. She just made $81 million. Anyway, don't look, just laugh. And, you know,
So
like I said, I've had to talk to a lot of normal people in the last 2 days. So I'm like overflowing right now.
you're oozing machismo.
Oh, please. If I could, I would.
So I did see. I don't know what time did the national cover start? About 8:00.
I think so. I don't know.
Okay, so I saw a boat go into a tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
and it poofed out smoke in the French flag in a river.
Yeah.
And I said to a guy at work on my lunch break, I said, how many fucking millions of dollars got spent into this shit?
Oh, if you kept watching, you would have seen. You would have seen. And the other thing is, it's funny to me because like they did a lot of the French Revolution symbolism, and I was like, you know, that's kind of ballsy, because I mean, you know, politics are crazy all over this world right now. People are close to revolution in a lot of fucking places. And that happens to be one of them. And as we've seen since, I don't know how much you're keeping up with the shit that's going on, but like that night, like they got their train lines got fucking firebombed. So they've been down. And then today they shut somebody hacked the system and they shut their power off for a while.
Yeah, only a church or something I saw.
Yeah. So like it's like it's interesting, man. It's just an interesting time to fucking be alive. I gotta say that. And I fucking love it. I'm here for it. 100%.
Well, I'm glad you're here. And last night, overseas at 3 a.m., UFC had a pay-per-view.
I don't know why they do that. Why does UFC feel that they need to do that for the pay-per-view audience? Like, why?
I don't know.
Like, it's so shitty to the people that are there. It has to be weird for the fight. I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe it is for the benefit of fighters that travel, like, so that they're still on like their normal clock. I don't know. I guess
the people that live there, they probably get screwed.
Oh, yeah,
and
well,
we'll cover that later.
okay.
So UFC 304. Everybody made weight.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw something on Twitter. It was Alex Volkanovski said
Mm-hmm.
that there was a fighter that was in a brawl in the hotel the night before. He won't name it, but when it leaks, you'll know. I can probably guess who that was by something that happened today.
Oh, what happened today?
See, we're gonna get to that. We're not.
Oh,
We're on script today. Like I
oh,
said, new format. We're staying.
okay, okay, okay,
All right.
okay.
So the first fight of the night, Shauna Bannon defeated Alice Ardeline by split decision.
Okay, so I got to give a shout out to Alice. I didn't. I'm gonna say this up front. I didn't get to watch it. I was at go kart races last night. One of the most Midwest things you could ever say. But it was really cool, and I'll next time I have a free space to speak for a little while. We're not on script. I'll talk about that. But anyway,
you.
yeah. Anyway, I've actually followed her on Instagram and X and stuff like that for a couple years. Because she was like an independent, like she's been like doing the grind work to get that spot, and she took it last minute. They needed somebody to fill in, and but she's not a UFC like that's the thing. Most of the stuff that I love of hers, like why I follow her on social media, is because she's fucking hilarious. Like
Okay.
everything she does is like kind of innuendo jokes and stuff, but she fucking kills it. And I was excited that she got to get it. And then I saw it was the first fight on the card, and I was like, oh, wah, wah. And then it was a split decision. I was like, oh. So I didn't see it though, so I don't know. I hope that she should have won, right? It was a bad judge's call. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. 9-6 fighter versus a 6-1 UFC fighter. So
Yeah, there you go.
The fix was in.
The fix was in. Fucking A.
Second fight of the night. Mick Parkin knocked out Lukasz Brzezki, a 10-0 fighter over a 9-5-1 fighter, heavyweights.
Okay.
I did see highlights of this. He's a big man. He kind of hit the guy with his forearm and not a punch, just because he was moving.
He kind of hit the guy.
Yeah, kind of. But congratulations, Mick.
Hey, congratulations.
Go ahead.
Take a round.
That was in round 1 at 3 minutes 23 seconds. Ooh, by the way,
well done.
So, as this card builds, it was kind of a disaster. So I don't know why. The timing was way off. This is the 304th pay-per-view. So you would think that the main prelim would not be on when the pay-per-view
is supposed to be on. So yeah you texted me that. And I don't, how do you do that? What was there a hold up somewhere? Has Dana said anything? Like,
I haven't heard anything. Okay. I did hear from Dana that he will no longer be changing the bonus structure.
Nice. So
after last night,
he texted you that?
Yes.
Yeah, he let you know you heard from him. Good dude. Yeah. I'm fucking proud of you, bro. You've come a long way.
Well, I mean, you donate to Trump, and that's what happens. Dana likes you now. Disclaimer: I didn't donate to Trump. But the next battle. Sam Patterson submitted Kiefer Crosby in 2 minutes and 50 seconds of round 1.
Dude, if you're going to donate to anybody, you should be donating to me.
Yes. If you are watching this, if you're one of the 12, donate to sackshop.io.
Hey, there you go. Fucking A. All right. Well, congratulations, guy. Who's next?
The next... I can't even pronounce this name, but
I was waiting
a Lithuanian, Modestas Bukauskas, submitted Marcin Prochnio in a lightweight battle, round 3, 312.
I
Uh,
think you nailed those. Like I
oh,
think you nailed those.
I nail them like I nail every woman on the street. Let me tell you.
Oh my god, dude.
The next fight was Oben Elliott
Uh-huh.
by decision over Preston Parsons, unanimously. So go ahead, Oben. He's a Welshman.
Mm.
Okay, if so, this next fight, if you saw anything in the lead up, this was Mohamed Mokayev versus Manuel Copy.
Mhm.
They've been going at it. They went at it in the face
Okay.
off, everything
Okay.
else. Mokayev won by decision. He got cussed out by Mr. Beltran, the long bearded
Okay.
referee, for
Okay.
constantly grabbing the shorts. Like Cappy's shorts were down almost by his thighs.
Really?
So it was bad. Um,
Okay.
very bad. They went at it. They went at it at the stare down. They went at it in the ring before this fight started. They went at after the ring after the fight started. Mokayev,
After the fight ended, they were still fucking
yeah,
with
they
each
were
other?
still going at it.
No
Uh,
shit.
Mokayev is now deleted from UFC. So that
Oh,
maybe leads me
wow.
to believe that maybe he got into a fight in the hotel
Mm,
with one of Copy's team.
potentially. Yeah, it
But
sounds like there were some issues going on there.
yeah, these two hate each other, and
They should get into slap.
power slap.
Yeah. Let's just
Um,
watch. Let's just jump over to power slap
yeah,
for their
there was a
rematch.
really big video on that last night. 33 fights upcoming in the new season.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, as long as I get to see PVZ, I'm good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jake Hadley got a unanimous decision over Kalen Logren.
Mm.
I did not watch this fight. I was combing my hair. But for the next fight, that's when I tuned in. Molly the Meatball McCann lost by decision to Bruna Brasil. There was probably 30 seconds into this fight, Molly the Meatball took a kick, then shin right to the vagine, and there was a brief stoppage. So it didn't go over because of that, but
Oh my god, dude. It was brutal too.
absolutely brutal. Her uterus probably shook for miles.
Like
But
unspun and then spun back up.
she had a hematoma on her, like above her right eye after the first round,
Mm-hmm.
and she kept going, man. Like she's got heart.
It wasn't like Joanna, like pillow
No,
head
no,
type thing,
no,
was it?
no. It wasn't that bad.
She had
There
a
was another
fucking
hematoma after
water bed.
the main prelim too, which was
Hmm.
a really good fight. But
But
Bruna Brazil, she's pretty good. She really didn't want to go to the ground with Molly at all, which is
mhm.
weird. But when Molly stood up with her, she got some shots like in round 3.
Hmm.
But it was a good fight. The next fight was Nathaniel Wood by decision over Daniel Pineda. Uh, it wasn't. Oh no, that okay. The fight I'm thinking of. This was the main prelim of the night. So this is the one that went over.
Okay.
It after the walkouts and all that, it was, I want to say 10-12, and the pay-per-view feed started showing Big Ben videos from like 2004. So I think they were doing something, and it was a mess.
I'm sad I missed it,
Mhm.
honestly. Anytime you get to see, a well-oiled machine have a hiccup, it's always kind of
Yeah,
fun to be part of that
it
experience.
was very weird.
But it sounds, I mean, you know, they're overseas. They
So
got weird.
this is 2 a.m. too, so
You got to
probably nice.
imagine, like if that shit spilled over back into the locker room and they got security and stuff going on, like you don't know, like, and if, I mean, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. Obviously, I'm speaking out of my ass, but it sounds like it wasn't a great production. So maybe the B squad was running the whole production.
It could have been. The commentators were Anik, Bisping, and Daniel Cormier did the post fight.
Okay.
Megan O'Leary did her little thing on the side of the octagon.
Just call it perfection.
Yeah, I love Megan. She's great at her job, and
she is amazing at her job. She delivers a fucking promo for the fight right before the fight's getting ready to start. That
with
is
the music
like
blasting.
Oh, dude, and it's so tight every time too. She gets every word in there. She's
true professional,
amazing at
she
her
is.
job.
She is.
And they're lucky to have someone like her, honestly, because you know you try and replace somebody, and I know it's a looks gig too, because let's be honest, those exist. But to have someone that fits that bill and yet is probably like the top of the fucking ladder of what you could get for someone to do that work. Yeah, Megan O'Leary is fucking awesome.
She's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
but not DC. DC sucks. DC is awful.
So the I'll get to this as it goes on, but it is pretty fucking funny.
Okay.
The opening fight, Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. So this is if you're a UFC guy, you know this is a good fight.
Yeah.
Arnold Allen came out and kind of beat Giga's ass, which was kind of surprising, but not. I think he was ranked 6th. Giga was like 11 or 12, but he dominated this fight.
Good on ya.
A lot of blood coming from the face of Giga. There was a point a jab came and hit him, and DC, of course, comes out and he goes, "Oh my God, look at the blood splatter." It was good. But Arnold
There's
Allen,
blood. There's blood, Joe. There's blood.
John.
Yeah. Oh, well, it was Anik. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Bisping was there, you said?
I want to say it was Bisping.
Bisping
I don't think it was Joe Rogan, because he doesn't do the overseas stuff.
No, he usually doesn't. Yeah. Bisping has grown on me over the years.
It was Bisping.
Okay.
Because they were talking about the Noche fight the whole time. And he said, I don't believe I'm on.
Dude, I used to fucking hate Michael Bisping when he was a fighter, when he was coming up. Like, I hated him.
I hated him until he knocked the fuck out of Luke Rockhold.
Yeah.
And then I was a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's kind of when everybody, and he kind of changed too. And then he got the wonky eye, and he had been in, dude, he went from being a cocky kind of dick to being in fucking wars.
Yeah.
And there's no quicker way to, earn
the respect.
Yeah. And he did that. He did that shit. And honestly, I think he's a way better person on the mic than DC is, but for some reason they get behind Cormier and give him podcasts and shit, but whatever.
Yeah, they were pimping out the DC and RC show last night.
Of course.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, Chael has gotten unbearable. Like, he's a caricature of himself.
He's a gimmick of that character.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
He's over the top.
And DC can't fucking string together 3 intelligent sentences. And I've listened to it. Like, I've tried to listen to it, because the only thing I do like when DC does, I give DC props when he has shown up the last couple years to do, the calls for the championship round of the NCAA wrestling tournament. That's pretty fucking awesome, because I mean, he was a he was a very gifted college wrestler too.
Mhm.
And like wrestlers are very big about giving back to the sport because it's a very self-sustaining, environment. There's not a lot of pro potential in collegiate wrestling, so they keep it very. So the fact that DC pours a lot of that back into wrestling, I compliment him.
He still does coaching too.
Oh
High
yeah,
school, college. So
yeah, yep. Private shit that probably costs a fuck ton of money.
yeah, probably. The next fight was Christian Leroy Duncan losing by decision to Gregory Rodriguez. Gregory Rodriguez is like a world-renowned kickboxer. This dude is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
CLD is really good in his own right, but there was a blood fest. Rodriguez opened up a cut on Duncan, and it just didn't stop bleeding, and he had a hematoma as well. This dude, he could be like the next Alex Pereira.
Oh, really?
He
You
looked
think
phenomenal.
he's that? Wow.
Phenomenal. The next fight, the one that draws the people in, King Green versus Paddy Pimblett. So what did you think was going to happen?
I kind of thought there was going to be a knockout. Like I thought King Green was gonna fucking knock him out, or he was gonna get worn out. You remember when what's his name, the dude that had the hair on his chest that he would shape, Kimbo Slice.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought it was gonna be gimmicky, like I thought it was gonna be like that.
So you don't know yet, right?
No, I don't. I have no idea what happened. I haven't
Paddy
looked
came
at
out.
anything.
Paddy came out. He did his dance.
Mm-hmm.
To his little rave music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
King Green came out to the slowest, like, downing music of all time. He got in the ring. When he was with the Cutman, he took a little bit of the mixture, stick it in each nostril.
Of course.
Then King Green got in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say about a minute 40 into the fight, he shot on Paddy. And Paddy put him in a triangle.
That was
then
it.
Put him in an arm bar. And the arm, it was extended.
Yep.
But King Green was choked out.
Why did he shoot?
I don't think he knows. Paddy didn't know. But he said he said
Where's Paddy gonna go? Like what like
he called out after the fight Reynaldo Mercado.
Okay.
So
seems reasonable.
I would imagine Paddy's gonna be ranked probably in the top 13-ish.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking go for another top 10 guy.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you gotta do.
And it'll be a cherry picked kind of thing. And but good on Paddy, because I don't think anybody saw this coming.
Well, I mean, you don't expect King Green to shoot on you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
DC and Michael kept calling him Bobby Green all night because he just changed his name. But King Green,
it's
fantastic. He looked like a pawn last night.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. The next fight.
Describe the whole fight. You've got 1 minute. Tell me everything that happened.
Well, that's all it was. Tom Aspinall, just as I said to you, I want to say that was Thursday.
For sure. You definitely called this a couple days ahead of time.
Yeah, Curtis Blades, fantastic wrestler. You can't stand up with Tom Aspinall. 1 minute in, knockout. It wasn't spectacular, but it was fucking good. After the fight, Tom Aspinall called out John Jones. So he also stated that he wants to have a one-night tournament. He will fight Pereira in the first round, and the other fight would be John Jones versus Stipe. and that's the next fight. So I don't know what they're going to do with that, but he said he would be willing to do it. This was a rematch. Tom got his knee hurt in the first fight. Curtis Blades won, so it was retribution. So I guess that's how they spun Blades getting a rematch.
So he wants to do like a one night, like old school, like Pride,
Yes.
winner of each fight.
Takes it all. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, they can't.
They can't. It won't be sanctioned, but
no, not even remotely at this point in time. But I do like the idea of like setting that up. You can still have like the 2 qualifier fights. Well, you can't really because you already have the John Jones fight scheduled, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, unless you can put them both in there, which, I mean, it was a 1-minute fight, and Pereira walked out of his fight
clean.
I mean, completely clean. So, I mean, maybe you could throw it in there. I think that would, I mean, that's a way to get buys. Like, I'll tell you, like, you introduce that shit, you throw that shit out there, and then you're like, and then, 4 months from now at UFC, whatever, you're going to get the winner of these 2 fights. People will buy into that shit. Like, it'll have you could do a whole YouTube series on it, like behind the scenes shit.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's the only division that has that kind of like grouping right now too. A lot of the divisions are pretty washed out. Like
they are.
I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but some of the divisions are washed out. 205 is redonkulous. 205 is, and I love it because to me, 205 has always been the best UFC weight class, like always. Like
welterweight was pretty damn good back in the day.
Oh, sure, and middleweight had a run too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, but 205 is never not good.
Yeah,
like 205 is always good. It's been a long time since heavyweight has been relevant. It's been a while since the lighter weights have really been relevant. But 205 is the fucking workhorse, dude. And right now, if you can showcase it like that and market a couple shows around it, you got a winner, in my opinion. That'd be cool as shit. So good on Aspinall for fucking having some creative.
This is at heavyweight. It's all at heavyweight, though.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
That's what it is right now. Aspinall is the interim heavyweight champion.
Holy fuck.
Jones and Stipe is for the heavyweight title.
Okay, well that one makes sense. Never mind.
And then Pereira said he would go up. Pereira said he would go up. Remember?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's where it makes sense.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. I mean, it should be like it doesn't make sense to me. Like all of them are 205 fighters except maybe Stipe. He's always been a heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Makes Stipe
Jones doesn't have to train as hard now to get cut weight, so
but Jones. Anyway, 205 is still the best division.
It is. It is.
Like you're talking about heavyweight, but that doesn't fine. I was blown off by that because that doesn't make any sense to me. They're all 205 fighters except for Stipe. But that's all. That's what. So that again, that's what you're doing for heavyweight at this point. It still makes my point. If that's what you have to do for heavyweight at this point is have a bunch of 205ers come up and save it.
Well, there's no true heavyweight right now.
And Pereira really isn't a fucking heavyweight. I mean,
he could be a cruiserweight.
Yeah. Well,
he was with Adesanya.
Was he really?
Yeah, because he's gone up twice. He would have all 3 belts at the same time if he won the heavyweight title.
Is cruiser behind light heavy? I thought that was.
Maybe I'm wrong. Let me pull it up.
Dude, I'm an idiot. I don't remember shit like this. I'm an old man with saggy balls. I don't have time to remember fucking weight classes and shit.
Yeah, middleweight, then light heavyweight, then the heavyweight. So there's no cruiserweight. So that's me. That's on me.
Well, you're thinking wrestling.
I'm
Like
thinking wrestling and boxing.
you've been calling the octagon the fucking ring all night. So like you're on the wrestling thing. I see where you're going. Also boxing. I watched some Olympic boxing today.
Okay.
9-minute
good?
fights. Yeah,
Just the breathing.
yeah, and it's a 9-minute sprint basically, and it's you're just trying to score. You're just trying to score. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's all right though. It is what it is. The judo is better. And when the judo. Anyway, continue. Go back. I'm sorry. I got
main event of the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad 2. The first fight was when Bilal got the toe in the eye and they had to stop the fight, if you remember. That was during COVID.
Yeah. Yep.
Bilal dominated. Leon never had a chance. He just smothered him, kind of Khabib-like. After the fight, they said, "What is next for you, Bilal?" He said, Leon doesn't get a shot for 3 years. He's going to work his way back to earn it. And then he called out some crazy names.
Fucking WWE, dude.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to have the title long. He's a great fighter, but he's not marketable. He has a boring style. He just smothers you. At UFC.com right now, they still have Leon as the champion. So I believe Shavkat is going to be his first title defense. Shavkat Rachmanov. So, he called out Ian Machado Gary.
Okay.
Who's number 7, so I don't know how that would work. But Shavkat, I believe, is getting the first shot.
I don't know. Gary is
he's marketable though.
Yeah.
So that's where they could make the money on that fight.
Yeah, I like Gary, honestly. Yeah. I don't like that they say his whole name every fucking time he fights. Like every time they say his name. That's annoying. But I mean, it's respect, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, looking at these light heavyweights cleaned out. Alex beat Yuri. You have Magomed Ankalaev, Jamal Hill, who he destroyed, Jan Blachowicz. So that's dead. Middleweight, you have Dracus. You have Sean Strickland, Izzy, Whitaker. I'm not even going to go into who else because they're not very top guys. Welterweight, you have Bilal, Kamaru, Shavkat, Colby Covington. I mean, we've seen it all already.
Yep.
Lightweight, you have Islam, Arman Sakruian, Du Bronx, Oliveira, Gaethje, Poirier. I mean, that's probably the money division right now. Nobody cares about Ilya Tapura. Sean O'Malley, he's marketable.
Yeah.
Pantoja, maybe, but
Bo Nickel is somewhere in there waiting to become the next big thing that nobody fucking likes because he's boring as shit.
Yeah, he's not even ranked at the moment, which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, he's only got what, 3 fights, 2 fights,
4 fights. Yeah, they really need stars right now in UFC. Yep. You have Chandler that is being held up by Connor. Poirier on the verge of retirement, so you're losing him. They really need a shot in the arm. I mean,
I'll say this though, dude, they're so good globally right now.
Yeah, they're cooking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I find it hard to evaluate their star power just because back in the day when they were kind of a fledgling organization, they had guys that like the fans loved, right? And that people got behind and that became stars. And then they built some stars off of the backs of those guys and blah, blah, blah. But right now, I mean, you have dominance from other I mean, they're
Other
European.
countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and I mean, Brazil is almost having to fight its way back in. Like, and I
Very
find
true.
that interesting. But the fighting style has changed because of it, and like I like GSP kind of introduced the lay and pray, and the Eastern Europeans at this point are bringing a new version of that, but it's like lethal, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't just lay and pray. They'll keep you on the ground, but they're gonna fuck you up while you're
Right.
down there.
A smother technique.
Yeah, but and that's the thing. It turns it into a one style fight, and if
Mm-hmm.
and if that becomes a theme,
They're in
it will.
trouble.
Yeah, because it's not fun to watch a one style fight, and
No.
if they're but it always takes time for another style to come up, because I mean it is a style dominated sport, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it has been a situation where first it was the
Jiu-jitsu.
hitter. Yeah, right. Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
when real Brazilian jiu-jitsu artists started showing up, like they just took off, and then
Mm-hmm.
kickboxers have come in and done really well. Like the kickboxing style
Mm-hmm.
has become like the thing.
Wrestling.
Well, wrestling had its heyday
Mm-hmm.
too, but right now it's like if it's gonna be this, like we're gonna have some issues. But at the higher weight divisions, there's still kickboxing,
Right.
So like
But it's only going to take one person to figure out how to defeat that style too.
that, yeah,
So
absolutely, absolutely.
that's
And honestly, like I think that's why like Bo Nickel. Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta do it. Bo Nickel is such an amazing wrestler. Like I know that gets thrown around, like, oh, he's a great wrestler, but like Bo Nickel dominated all 4 years at college level, just dominated it, like
Mhm.
killed everybody that came near him. And he's done it since he got into the UFC too. And he's trying to learn how to strike. And I mean, he's becoming
His
a whole
striking
fighter.
is
But his nature, like his competitive, like in the way he goes about it, he's really smart too. I forget what he majored in at Penn State, but at one time I knew because I cared about college wrestling that much. But yeah, he has that ability. I don't think a style can beat him if he can keep getting better, but I think he should be a star, but he never will be, because when they put a mic in his face, he's just too like,
bland.
yeah, because that's, dude, college wrestlers tend to be like that, because it's
Mhm.
very much like, yes, it's individual, but we're all humble, we're a team, we're this, we're that, we train with these people, these, like, because you can only be as good as the dudes in the room with you, right? Like that's, yeah. Anyway, Bo Nickel.
That's
all
your
I
guy.
got. Yep.
All right. So next week, it's very interesting. It's on ABC, so they're going to get a lot of.
I forgot about this. I forgot this was
Yeah.
happening.
They're going to get a lot of views. You don't have to have cable to watch it. It is going head to head with SummerSlam though, so that might have a little something. But
SummerSlam.
the main event is Corey Sandhagen against Umar Nurmagomedov.
Nagomedov. Fuck! I thought I had it. I was being cocky. I'm like,
Khabib's brother.
yes.
Shara Magomedov, the blind dude. He can only fight wherever he can get sanctioned. He's fighting Michał Olakevich, big Polish fella. Cheeto Vera versus Davison Figueiredo. So that might be a really good fight.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa, which is going to stylistically be a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Then they throw Mackenzie Dern on there to fight Lupe Godinez. So you have a little sex appeal there.
Yeah.
Alonzo Minifield's on there. He's a very enjoyable fighter. Nobody.
ABC, huh?
ABC, yeah. Pre-show is on ESPN2, but the main 6-fight card is on ABC.
That's awesome. Good for them. I knew
Yeah.
that was coming. I remember that whole thing, but yeah, I had forgotten that it was actually like the next thing, competing with SummerSlam. Ooh.
There is another fight night on the 10th, so it's 2 weeks away. Nothing of note. Then the 17th, Dreykus versus Izzy. Kai Kara France versus Steve Ursig. So I'm guessing this is in Australia. Dan Hooker versus Gamrot. Tai Tuivasa versus Rosenstruik. So he's going to get knocked out. It has to be in Australia because every fight has a Australian on it, and that would make sense with Izzy.
Hey, weren't we supposed to only do this for a half an hour?
Yeah, well, this is the long one, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they announced the Noche
Okay.
card last night. September 14th in the Sphere. Sean O'Malley versus Marab is the main event. Alexa Grasso versus Shevchenko. The Ortega Diego Lopez fight that Dan Ige stepped in for. Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics. Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Odie Osborne. Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. And Raul Rosas Jr. Against Arrow Queeling, Chinese fighter.
I'm just so interested to see what it is that they
already said
spear.
that the budgeting is millions of dollars for that. What they're going to do, they said it's going to look crazy. The thing I was going to say earlier about DC, he did the interview with Bilal, who he's friends with, so this is really weird, and said, the UFC champion of the world, Leon Rocky Edwards. And he goes, oh, Bilal, remember the name Muhammad. So that was the DC funnyism of the night. I forgot to bring up.
Bilal, remember the name Muhammad.
And he forgot.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done, DC. Well done.
So that's just a few things you have to look forward to with UFC.
Yeah. The Sphere will be pretty fucking cool, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's going to be lit.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be wild.
All right. We'll be back with another episode soon.
Yay!